people, to a brand new episode of Cinema d'Amore. I'm your host, Justin Morgan, and I'm here with... And we are continuing our connections theme forever and ever and ever. Today we are going to be talking about The Ritual from 2017. It's on Netflix. I believe it's like a Netflix exclusive. I'm pretty sure they bought it. And I'm connecting it to Charles's pick of last week, The Descent. Do you have any guesses on the connection?
I mean, it has a lot of connections. I mean, I could say technically I know how it connects because you already told me how you connected it partially through some AI. But I mean, yeah, it's got a bunch of characters in an isolated setting. They get lost. They get attacked by semi-paranormal forces.
Yeah, that's it. 100%. You could keep going. It's the most detailed connection of all time.
It's like the male. I mean, it really is just like an all-male version of The Descent. Like they are very similarly plotted and structured.
It does not pass the Bechdel test.
Not at all. Not in the slightest.
0% fail. I feel like there's only one woman in the whole thing. And she's like a cultist.
I mean, there's like two, but yeah, they're both in the cult, and I don't think one of them could even speak English, or maybe can't speak at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. They probably weren't really speaking Norwegian or wherever, Swedish, well, whatever the hell they were.
Yeah.
The cultists. Yeah, I thought, what is a good double feature with Descent? And I feel like this would be a good double feature with The Descent. I have mixed feelings on this one. There's parts of it that I think are excellent. And then there's other parts in this film where I think the Britishness of it, for lack of a better word, kind of hides some of the, like, I don't know, poor aspects of it. Like I feel like a lot of the cast is not that great, minus the main guy. What's his name? Rafe Spall.
Yeah.
Spall. You know him from Shaun of the Dead. I think is he the kid in Shaun of the Dead? He's the 16-year-old. Yeah, he's been in stuff.
Is he in Shaun of the Dead?
I think he's
Oh
that
yeah,
kid.
I think you are. Yeah, you're right. I always forget that was like one of his first things. I think.
Yeah. Is it Timothy Spall that he's related to? Like he's somebody's son. He's a son, and he's in the same career. I don't think he's a bad actor. I don't necessarily know if he had a lot to work with in this movie. Like, particularly, I do feel like the best actor besides him is his friend in the beginning of the movie that dies. Like, he felt the most naturalistic. I guess as naturalistic as a performance could be. Because, we have, just like The Descent, we have a flashback of sorts. Instead of a year, it's 6 months ahead of time. And like The Descent, it deals with a death. Only this one is a robbery gone wrong. I really like the way that the scene plays out, where they're having this conversation and they're totally unaware that this woman's like hiding or like beat the shit out of her, like already has the shit beat out of her in the, behind the cash register. And these people come in, and the protagonist, is his name Luke? I'm confusing their names. I can't remember who's who.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The main character. Yeah.
He hides behind a shelf, and he wants to like be a hero, but he's too afraid. And his buddy ends up getting fucking murdered with like a pipe. Like they go to town on this guy. It's pretty brutal. And the only thing I'm like not huge on the setup is that the melodramatic aspect of it, of like his friend keeps looking back at him, and he's not hidden that well behind the shelf, but I don't know, maybe the thieves or whatever, soon to be murderers, are on drugs or something. They're dumb, they're on drugs, they don't care. They're definitely dumb, but I do like that they kinda, like, go through with this hiking trip that they were planning,
Much
with, like,
like
the
the
friends.
descent, it's like the hike is supposed to be like I don't know, they kind of like present it as like it's a healing journey to go on. So it has like again, it has so many similar elements to the descent, like the
Yeah, it's like,
reason they're
what.
there.
Yep, and not exactly the the most similar, but basically, they have a plan, and they don't follow the plan, I guess, as opposed to the descent, where the plan was to not tell your friends that this was an
Yeah.
unexplored cave.
It was,
So in
yeah,
this.
it was just an accident. He twists his ankle, and they're like, "What if we take a shortcut through the forest?"
Yeah, and the guy that you see beforehand that's basically doing the map, like, the friend that knows how to do the
Which I do
map, it
love the
seems.
comedy. Like, he has the thing that's like, like the phrase is, if it was actually a shortcut, it'd be called a path or something like that. Like, not a short,
Yeah.
it's not a shortcut if it doesn't. It's not actually like a path that'll take you somewhere faster.
Yeah, and essentially their cave is once they go into the woods, like, once they get into the
Yeah,
woods, and
spooky shit happens.
yeah, Luke's like, "This isn't a good idea. There's a bunch of weird shit going on." Basically, it kinda gets into the realm of anything that can go wrong does go wrong.
Yeah.
You got
I
weird
mean,
shit
I
like.
feel like my problems with this movie
Yeah,
are the same as my problems with The Descent. Is that it feels like it's just too vague on, I don't know, what I'm supposed to actually be frightened of. Like it doesn't. It just. It feels like he just. I don't know. Like the director just presents things, but doesn't give
mhm.
you enough to make you like really. I don't know. Really scared. It's. This is this movie like flies by. It's very short. It's only 90 minutes, 93 minutes or something. And it's one of the few times that like I'm watching it and I got to the end and was like, I could have done with like an extra like 10 or 15 minutes to
You wanted
maybe
more.
like
Yeah, make it longer,
maybe like give
please.
me something, which I noticed when I looked through the rest of the movies that he's directed. A lot of the things he's worked on where he's done like four of the VHS movies, and one of the other films he did was also an anthology that he did. So he does a lot of his stuff has been like short form, like
He
segments and things
he
that he's worked
should
on.
be
So I'm
able
like,
to.
yeah, half of it is like you'd think he'd use his time more wisely because he's used to working on shorts. But then my thought is, I mean, those shorts were so short that you have to go really fast. And maybe his thought process on this was, I've got an hour and a half. I can like really explore the space and really try to come up with stuff. And maybe he almost like it gets like too far away from him. Like he takes too much time to try to like really get into things or kind of get to the point of what we're supposed to be dealing with here.
All your points are good. I am in the camp that if you can make a short film, you can make a feature-length film. I don't know if it's necessarily the opposite, because I feel like if you start with something that's long and you don't know where to cut the shit out, I think it's much harder to make a big idea small. But yeah, you should not be making a small idea large either. I know this is based on a book. I just found that out today. I am sure it said in the
Yeah, I think
credits,
I knew
but
that, but didn't yeah, don't know anything about it. Like if this changed things or if it cuts
they
things out. 'Cause I mean,
apparently. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. The imagery in the film is really really good and really interesting. I think that's probably the best thing I could say about it. Like the when they get to that cabin, the first time where you're like, I don't think they should be in there because it definitely is like weird. And the guy finds like the Wicker Man type thing in the
Yeah.
up in like the attic or
Yes.
something. And you're just like, they definitely should not be here. Like that, I would have left immediately if I had seen that thing in that house. It's so weird.
If it wasn't the
Uh,
animal that was open up in the tree.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, like stuff like that's really good. I don't even mind that they kind of do the Jaws thing of they really don't show you the thing that's been chasing them until the last 15 minutes of the movie. They really leave that as a mystery as to what that thing's supposed to be. They just hear footsteps and see shadows. So I don't mind that they don't go crazy because I mean it's not bad, but it's not the greatest CGI monster in the world, so it's probably better that they didn't show it until the very end and keep it mostly hidden for a good bit of the movie. But
Yeah, they keep it in the dark too, which is good.
it's like I said, everything's we keep getting his, I don't know, I guess dreams or whatever you call them, nightmares, visions that he keeps having, the main character, and they're all just exactly the same. He just keeps seeing that moment. They don't really change, or it doesn't even seem like there's ever like he's not back in these flashbacks and like he tries to save the guy. He just kind of experiences them over and over again. And we never find out what the other three guys envision. The one guy seems to have definitely some weird stuff because like he's the one that like wakes up and he was like praying to the Wicker Man thing, and he seems to have like the weirdest. But we don't like actually hear like he never says what happens. The one guy's like screaming for his wife, and then the other guy just pees his pants, and we never hear about like they never want to say like what it was that they saw in their
Yeah.
dreams,
Ben
and
pissed
he's
himself, and then like
obviously
Tom's up there praying to the Wicker Man.
yeah
You're like, dude,
some crazy stuff
it's like,
going on.
what are
But
you
yeah,
doing?
the yeah,
Well, the
I get we
cinematography that
find
you're
out in
talking
the yeah
I was just gonna bounce off of what you said before you moved on, which was I thought not only did the whole film really look good from beginning to end, I really liked how they were blending the wood scenes in with that convenience store, and it
yeah
was very
it had a
simple. It was
cool
just
look
like a
to
very
it,
yeah, just having like the fluorescent lights going out into the like it wasn't just walking through a doorway.
and you're just like
It starts like
mysteriously
that,
in
but
the thing. Yeah,
yeah, they're like nice little changes, like the floor is like a forest floor, but everything else is the same, and it's always a
yeah,
little bit different every time that you come back to it. And bouncing off what you were saying about the whole Jaws thing, you don't really like see the creature. There's a great shot where it's like in the woods behind the tree, and there's just this movement. You can't tell what it is, but you know it's huge. You just whatever the hell that thing is massive. And yeah, your brain doesn't have to register what it is just to know that there's something actually out there.
yeah, yeah. And we find out later, when they run into the rest of these, cultists or whatever, that there's symbols carved everywhere, so there's people out there, and they see like fires in the woods, so there's people. When we meet them, that I think that's the first thing I figured was that he's like chosen because he has that like bloody mark on his chest, and you see like the other people there all have the same mark. So obviously this happens all the time, but it's like again that's a place where not that you necessarily need like a ton of exposition, but like my first thought was like, well, why is he chosen? Is it because like even give us a little bit? Is it because he has like the most trauma, or he's the most damaged person out of the
Yeah.
group, and that's who it takes, or something like that?
I mean, I do know from what I've read, but that's another thing about it. It doesn't hold up in the movie. Like everything is not there. Like not everything's from the book. And apparently what matters the most is that creature and understanding what that creature is. It is a thing that feeds off of like grief and sadness and shit like that. So you are right. That's why he's more or less chosen by the creature is because he has this such a strong sadness to him. That I guess the other friends don't have the same amount. And this creature, all it asks is to be worshipped, and if you don't worship it, it will kill you. So that's why, like, it's fine with the cultists because they will worship it. If you don't worship it, it kills you. So I
And
think
apparently you can live to be 100 years old or even older, because obviously those like the people in the, I don't know, I guess chapel kind of place up there that are basically like they all look like the crypt keeper, but
yeah,
they're still somehow alive.
and you are right about the like him being chosen. Like it's not just that he still has a choice to make. I
Yeah.
guess the way the cultists would look at it is he's either going to reject this godlike thing that they worship and it's going to kill him, or he's going to worship it and fold into the ranks like the rest of them. And I think what bothers me the most is that there is kind of a clear answer as to what this thing is and why they're having their nightmares, but the film like doesn't know how to
It
tell you
can't like
this.
convey it.
Yeah, it can't convey it at all. I mean, to a degree, you could get it. It's like, I mean, I don't know what else they needed, but I'm thinking, like you said, you could add 10, 15 minutes. You could probably put something in there that doesn't feel like you're spoon feeding all these people, you know?
Mhm.
I don't know, have the creature talk to him. I mean, the creature was kind of talking to him through some of his visions. I like that one shot where he's seeing his friend like get murdered, and then the guy looks up and he's got the glowing eyes and he's like watching him like more creature like than a person. And he starts to speak, but I can't remember what he says. So he's clearly speaking to the guy through the grief, like whatever reliving, the trauma that he has to keep reliving over and over again. And I love the creature design too. I think it's fucking cool, like that whole mangled elk tree thing, and it's genuinely creepy when you first see it, and it, like, bends down to, like, look through the door, and it's got, like, kind of a person thing going on, and cl clearly the
It's got
top
a
of the head
face.
is the Wicker Man.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got, like, a few faces. It's got too many faces, too many arms. But, yeah, I think that the main character is a good actor because 'cause I've seen him in enough other things, but I don't think that the others were that strong, like, especially the guy that hurt his leg and like, dude, I don't know. Those are some of the worst acting I've ever seen, and I just felt like I felt like the British stuff kinda, like, hit it, and when I say that, I mean, like, they go full
Well,
British.
the
Yeah, there's
accent
a
just
lot.
hides the bad acting.
Yeah, that's, like, what I took it as, and I was like, "Why didn't they, like, swap these actors?" I mean, or am I just under the illusion that that first guy was a better actor because he didn't have to speak that much? But I felt like he was very, like, calm and naturalistic, and I believed, like, his whole, like, couple seconds before when he was talking to his buddy, and but then you got this other guy, and I'm like, what is going on with this person? Like, I would not wanna go on a hiking trip with that guy. I'd be like, find some reason why I can't do the hiking trip. But yeah, I mean, I guess
I will
more
say,
so. Go ahead.
I mean, this is just a funny thing on its own. I didn't realize I had seen a part of this movie as a meme before I watched the movie, so that was kind of fun. Like, every once in a while you get that moment where something happens and you go, "Ah, that was a meme," and it was pretty fun. It was it was when he punches that old woman in the face. That like
Oh,
one
yeah, yeah,
cultist, he
yeah.
just like comes around the corner and like it was, and it was very recent too. That's the only reason it stands out so much too. It was like a week ago, and it was like a meme of like when you're trying to leave work early on Friday, and the manager comes up to you first, he just punches that woman in the face.
What makes that scene or moment so much funnier is the fact that he's so nonchalant about it, like, he fucking socks her, knocks her out, and then it's just, like, on, like, "I'm outta here," like Yeah, I mean, obviously, the creature's a little bit different than the creatures that we get from The Descent, but it kinda does have the same ending of the American version of The Descent, where our protagonist gets out of the woods and supposedly is safe, but is probably realistically just gonna be traumatized for the rest of his life. Like, you know what I almost would have wanted to see? Like like a flash forward, like move into the future and just show like how fucked up the guy is from that thing just being around him and getting into his memories or grief or I don't know how to describe it, but like
Does
getting into his
everyone just
emotion.
does he get like committed to an insane asylum because everyone thinks he's crazy when he comes out of the woods and it's like all my friends died in there. There's a monster in there.
Or kinda do like a Green Mile thing where he's like he's alive a hell of a lot longer than he's supposed to be, just being
Yeah,
traumatized, just bothered by it. Or maybe have like his friend like permanently haunting him, make it a American Werewolf in London type thing where it's his buddy now talks to him and it's like, "You did this to me." And he just has to hear that for the rest of his life, like, Jesus Christ, man. But atmospherically, it is cool. I think that, like, the whole setup and going into the woods, everything looks great. Everything's mysterious like I like. I just don't feel like they not that they don't explain things like we said, but they don't there's nothing in the movie to tell us some of the things that, like, I just told you guys.
yeah,
Like, read the book. I
yeah.
think
Sounds like the book could be good.
sounds like the book goes into great detail about what the cult is, what the creature is. I saw it was like a 2011 book, so it only took them like 6 years to make it and adapt it. I don't know much more about the director, David Bruckner. I don't know if I've seen anything else from him.
Like I said, I mean the VHS movies. He's worked on those as like
I
a
haven't watched any
writer
of them.
producer. You ever seen a single VHS movie?
No.
Oh, maybe
You wanna
next
do
time
all of
we're
them?
watching a VHS movie. Yeah, that's. Oh, he did do the new Hellraiser. You probably did you watch that?
Oh, I did see the new Hellraiser. I did like the new
Mhm.
Hellraiser. That was surprisingly good, but I think it went back to, like, he really trusted the audience to, accept this new version. Okay, yeah, I did
Yeah.
like that.
So there you go. You got something.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, too, I feel like this is a mixture of that indie filmmaking that kinda came out of the Blair Witch. It's that, like, trying to be simplistic but creepy, and but also, I feel like with the guys that I can't remember, Synchronic, and they did, The
Yeah.
Endless,
Yeah.
they
It's had
they
a
kinda have
similar
an in
feel to those movies a little bit.
yeah, like, they have some effects figured out, and they're gonna tie it into their movie, like, it's a really simple effect, but I love the thing from The Endless where the rope just goes up into the sky, like, it's in, like, a void, and, it's just lighting that makes it look like it's going up into nothing, and maybe some visual effects. And so I do appreciate what this movie does with what little it has. Like I mean, it doesn't have much to go by besides woods, the one building, and like an animal up in the tree. Well, I guess they have their convenience store that they keep repurposing. That was clearly a set. You'll find out that it was in like one of the big London theaters or something. Like they did The Descent.
Yeah, they
What's
used
that
that
studio?
in. Uh, but you were thinking of like the one they do all the Bond movies in.
Yeah, I can't think of what it's called, and I heard it a million times in my life, so
I'm like the same way.
it's something real simple.
It's just called the studio.
Yeah, London's Hollywood. But yeah, I mean, I think that this movie looked better than The Descent. Uh, The Descent worked a hell of a lot better. Like you don't have to explain the monsters,
Those are
you
like
know?
yeah, a lot
You
simpler
I mean,
to
this
go
thing could have
over.
been I mean, maybe the idea was, they do come across the cult at the end and they gotta worship the thing, but you think there'd be some sort of, like, explanation. I mean, they have the sacrifice aspect of it, but you don't really get, like, it doesn't really tie into the dreams or something. I mean, maybe it was supposed to be scary because they didn't speak English, but I don't know.
Foreigners, they're terrifying.
Yeah, it's the whole foreigners are terrifying type stuff, and I mean, they did find some terrifying looking people, but I mean, that one bald dude made me think of the guy from The Hills Have Eyes, the original one. It's in like everything.
The bald guy,
He's always
yeah.
a
I know exactly
mutant.
what you're talking about.
He would have been in this movie if he wasn't 100 years old. But yeah, I thought it was a decent movie to check out. Obviously, short runtime on Netflix, easy to find, and not a terrible movie, but maybe the most mediocre down the middle movie that we've done in a while.
Yeah, it was just, you know, it's a movie.
I think the thing that stands out to me the most in this, the thing that I remembered was the way that they held off on that creature till the end, and then it was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but I
I
was
mean,
not
yeah, the design was like not, yeah. The like if I was to think of what I thought this creature was gonna be, I will say it was not that.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw it, I thought it came out, like, holding a person, and I was like, "Oh, that's, like, its face." I'm like, "I have no idea what's going on." Also, it's a matter of the times. When this came out on Netflix, I don't know if it came out in 2017, and that's when I first watched it, or it came out a couple years later, but I was like, "Damn, that thing looks good." And this time, I'm, like, in the same boat as you where I was like, "The CG just isn't that great." Like, it didn't stand
It's
up
okay.
as much. It's okay. Yeah, it's not terrible.
It's not
I
the
mean, I
worst.
can't
I've
knock a
seen
movie for
seen worse
being
CGI.
being cheap. Yeah, like, you know what? So what? You have to do it. But that's all I really got. I'm interested to see where you go from this. You find another movie that's like
Well,
100% similar.
you just keep watching these movies that are just vaguely,
The Descent.
vaguely connected. Yeah, they're just vaguely variations on the descent.
If the girls went hiking instead of caving, this is definitely what would have happened. I mean, they're also globetrotting because they're in London in this, and then they jump to that like Swedish Norwegian border trail or whatever, and then the cave was in like North Carolina or some shit like that. It was like in the Appalachian Mountains, so they definitely went to another country to do that
Oh
too.
yeah, they're in different countries at different times.
A friend dies, they have to go to a faraway country to do a thing that they could probably do almost anywhere. They get trapped. There's some creatures. Everybody pretty much dies. There's no survivors, or if they survive, they're really fucked up. And a few standout casts, but mostly not that amazing. But see it. Yeah, definitely check it out. And this month it's your birthday.
We have to find a way to tie that
Into
we'll
your
figure it
pick,
out.
your birthday movie. It's about as close to your birthday as you're gonna get. Or is there 3 Junes? 3 June Fridays? I don't remember. It's possible.
You never know.
No. I would have find something crazier for you to fucking watch. The crazier, the better. I kind of
I
want to tap
mean,
into the things that you.
the next Friday it would be Friday the 13th in June, so
This comes out on the 6th, so we're gonna skip the 13th.
we're gonna miss it then.
Next Friday is Friday the 13th. Enjoy it without us.
You can repost the we've done Friday the 13th movies before a long time ago. Just repost that on that day.
We did the first 4 of them. I don't think that we've ever done any more. I don't even know what we would do if we just wanted to revisit it. What would we do? Like the remake or something?
Now, they do a TV show of that one. Then they, I think they did. I don't think it's remotely connected to the movies in any way, other than probably the stories just take place on Friday the 13th or something.
Oh, you're talking about the Friday the 13th show when we were growing up
Yes.
was like weird objects that they obtained and like the horrific stories around them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I feel like Freddy Krueger might have been involved somehow in the show randomly, but I'm pretty sure there was no Jason.
Yeah, they somehow try to tie it in together like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good thinking. Got to get you back out to the movies. We are going to see a movie this month with you.
Like we'll see a movie. Just leave it at that. We will see a movie at some point.
Well, we're going to see Fellowship of the Ring for your birthday with the orchestra, which I think will be cool. That's going to be super enjoyable. And then, yeah, there's a couple good movies coming out, but you stopped going to the movies, so I don't know. I saw Friendship. That was pretty fucking funny. It reminded me of you because of our friendship. All right. We'll see you in 2 weeks with whatever the hell Chuck picks and connects to the ritual.
Yeah.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
We are Cinema d'Amore. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with news and information on upcoming episodes. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Pandora, Alexa, or iHeartRadio. It would be greatly appreciated if you subscribe to our podcast on your platform of choice. We also appreciate feedback, so rate us, review us, and let us know what you think. And above all else, thank you for listening.